Record to computer. Okay, awesome. So Courtney has told me a little bit about your story, not a lot, so I'm going to let you do the talking, but just give us kind of a snippet of your story, your journey here so far, and then kind of how you had that mindset shift when you really started to run after a promotion. I think that a lot of people can get defeated. They can feel like, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to hit it. And you get kind of stagnant. And sometimes it's just that small switch in your mind of like, I'm going to do this no matter what. And I think that that's what happened with you, and you absolutely crushed it. So just give me a little bit about yourself and then kind of your evolution with it and what happened.
Is it me?
Brittany first.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I am Brittany Lee. I was a part of Court's team back with It Works, totally different from how it is now. My background is sales. I do outside sales. I've been in sales for almost 4 or 5 years now. And so for me, it was a little different because I'm a grinder. Like, I'm used to getting up, hitting the pavement, going. This year, I did start journaling a little bit more, taking some one-on-one time before I would hit the road. Just getting my mindset together, trying to make sure that before I hit the road, I am gathered as far as my thoughts. So, hey, Nikki. So for me, I did start off, really fast. And so 4K came, boom. And then I became kind of stagnant. Like, okay, I got 4K. And because I wasn't familiar with this particular company, I thought 4K was like a really good place to be. Mackenzie was one of the girls that started with me. And gosh, I would see Mackenzie, boom, 12, boom, 13. I mean, it was constant. And so in my head, I was like, oh, you know what? She's a stay-at-home mom. She has time. And I'm just busy. I just don't have time for it. And so one day, I kind of sat there. I'm like, okay, well, what is it that I'm not doing to where I cannot be successful? Not comparing myself to Mackenzie because I love her dearly. I know that she and I have a different walk. Her life is way different than mine. And so it was one day when Courtney, I think I text Courtney, and Courtney was just like, look, I'm not dealing with it. And for me, she was like, Brittany, can I just be transparent with you? And I'm one that's always willing to, take a look at myself and say, what can I do differently? And so once Courtney did that, and she was like, look, I'm not doing this anymore. And that right there was an eye-opener for me, because the only way that I can lead a team is if I get my mind together. So if that means that I have to hit this pavement even harder, I don't have a team. At this point, guys, I didn't have a bunch of girls that's like, hey, I want to join your team. I want to join your team. I'm just posting and hoping that somebody would just grab on. But I had to change my mindset. The very first girl that signed under me, she did well the first couple of days and then stagnant. But that was my fault. I take responsibility for that because I was not feeding her. I was not giving her what she needed because my head wasn't in the game. So for me, I had to stop and say, you know what, I'm a leader. I have to lead these girls. What can I do differently so that they can see that there is money to be made, there is lives that can be changed. So I had to stop and say, every customer that I talk to, you know what, I'm going to sign them up. It doesn't matter if I have a team under me. I want to show them that I can do it so they can see that they can do it as well. And so for me, it's all about getting your mindset first thing in the morning. There are people who are going to post negative stuff. They're going to question, why are you doing this? What's your plan? And, for me, they were like, well, are they broke? Is she selling, this stuff because they're not paying their bills? No, my bills are paid. This is what I want to do. And so you have to turn that off and say, you know what? What's my purpose? What is it that I'm trying to give out to this universe? I'm a girl who loves to get my hair done. I love to get my nails done. I love getting my lashes done. But those were not my gifts. My gifts were to become a leader and to help people be a better version of themselves. So I feel like this business here has allowed me to do that. And so now when my girls come to me, I'm like, Courtney, I'm going to leave you on red. We're not going to do negativity. We're just going to keep on moving. But it's like she said, it's not to be mean. It's to show you guys that you are a leader and you have to set your mindset as a leader, because if a girl under you comes and she has a bad mindset, you have to know how to deal with that. And for me, I didn't know how to deal with that in the beginning. I had to say, you know what? If all else fails, I'll crash and I'll burn, but I'm going to get back up. And so for me, I'm 12K now. Super excited. 40K right around the corner, guys. It's all about that mindset. Block out all the negativity. I read a quote this past weekend that said, we are the only beings that can change our core. An apple can't change into an orange. A pear can't change into something else. We have the opportunity to change who we used to be. So if you are a negative person, it's time to change. If you are a person that's always putting yourself down and comparing yourself, it's time to change. You have to change that core. And when you change that core, you can then create new seeds so that other people can then feed off of you. So, although Courtney gave me that speech a few weeks ago, that's in my head now. I know that, hey, you know what? I can do this. I can't go to Courtney with every problem. I have to take care of my team. These are my girls. Let me lead so that I can pass on that seed to the next group of girls. So that's it. That's all I have for mindset.
I love that so much. And it's so true because you determine every aspect of your team, right? You determine their mindset, you determine their speed. And especially in a period like this, when you are pushing hard for girls to get bonuses, to start their business, to get this going, it starts with you, right? And if you're seeing maybe these flaws in your downline, you're saying, okay, well, this person is doing this or their mindset's this. Sometimes you have to look in the mirror and say, okay, what can I up level in to be able to pour into them? You are the speed of your team always. And when you have that switch and like you said, that you take responsibility for them and you are here to help them and guide them. And when your mindset is right, that's what then duplicates into your downline. So I love that so much. Thank you. Okay. Now
Can I say one other thing about her really quick, Em?
No. Yes, you can.
Okay. Well, I'm going to anyway. So, what's crazy is Brittany messaged me. I just have to share this because I knew she's beautiful. She works in sales, but she would just she was so dialed back. She was giving it 10%. And I just got on a Zoom with her and I'm like, yo, what you're doing, just let's unleash it on the world. And so I remember her messaging me, showing me her wheel. And she was like, I'm going 12K. And she was at $7,000 with, not a massive team under her and a week left in the month. And I'm like, okay, not that I don't believe in my team, but I'm like, okay, for someone that had doubted herself, that hadn't put all of her cards in, and I watched her put her cards all in. I watched her go, Courtney, I am doing this. And I didn't help her. You know what I mean? I didn't have a waiting room of $6,000 and I watched her work, and it was the most beautiful and rewarding thing I have ever seen. Was someone who was kind of playing it small, just a few days, really left in the month, that some people would think push all of her cards in and be like, no, I'm doing this. And she made it. It was so cool, Britt. I was so proud of you because it didn't matter. It had to come from her. It had to come from the people she had been working with, the people she had been working on. And so I just want to say good job, because don't ever think that you're too far away, because Brittany wasn't, she was only a little over 50% there with a few days left. And I'm going, okay, you're going to have to work. And she did. And she's like, I'm 12K. And I was like, oh my God, she did it. So I'm just proud of you. And you're a true testament to, if you put your mind to it, it don't matter. It don't matter if you're up against a calendar. It don't matter if you're up against a huge team. It doesn't matter. It's all about your mind. So I'm just so proud of you. I'll be quiet now. Okay, bye.
No, I love that. And it's that small moment of deciding. And when you decide, crazy things happen. And I've shared this before, but when we as a team were pushing for 200, I think we pushed for 3 months where I was really in the trenches. But when it got to the 20th to 25th for the first 2 months of it, there's something in my head clicked, and I just was like, no, it's not going to happen. And I didn't speak that out loud, right? But I knew in my heart, I had convinced myself it wasn't going to happen. And it wasn't until I sat there and I said, I don't care what it takes. Like, we have to get it done this month. This is our month. And the more that you speak that out and you throw the excuses out and you quiet that voice in your head that's telling you that you can't do it, that's when crazy things happen in your business. And I think that helps a lot when you think about VIPs and they're in this time frame. It's absolutely possible if you give that 100%, if you pour it all in, if you have that fire and excitement. So who I want to bring on right now is Nancy. And Nancy just hit her VIPs. So I think this is super, super special. I'm going to have her hop on here, just tell a little bit about her story, why she joined, and then her biggest tip of what she propelled her to hit those VIPs.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So my name is Nancy, and I'm here in Colorado. And I first started Thrive because my mom needed help with her fibromyalgia. And for some, it was just, I was skeptical about it, but it ended up really helping her out. So then one day I have a 5-month-old. So for me, I was losing a lot of sleep. So one day I tried it and it completely turned my whole life around. And since then I've been taking it constantly. And I think I have a couple tips just because I can't decide on one, but I think once you first start is really, really watch the training videos, because if you don't watch them, you're not going to know what you're doing. And we have them for us for a reason. If we're not using them, I don't know what you're doing pretty much, because they tell you everything. One of the things I didn't watch is the Facebook algorithm. And I told Brittany, I was like, wow, it's a life changer. I should have watched this a long, long time ago. But I think I just got lost. But they're there for a reason. And I think another one is asking questions to your upline. That's a huge thing. Don't be embarrassed. Don't think it's a stupid question, because they're there for a reason. You won't succeed if you're not asking questions. I think that's another one. And then believe what you speak. I tell people how it changed me, and close people that know me very well, right away, they saw a huge change in me, and they knew, for example, I have a weak immune system, and right away I started taking Thrive. My husband, my mom both had a viral stomach problem, and I didn't get it. So that for sure brought attention to Thrive, and that will make people see that it does help. And then another thing is humbly accept criticism. I know that there's things I can work on, and Brittany has told me things like, hey, you should probably do this, you should probably do that. And the only way that we can humbly accept it is taking it well, because people only tell us that way we can succeed and only get better at things, if that makes sense.
Yes, I love that so, so much. And that's what we always try to share with new people is that, and I say this all the time to my team, but if you're in your first 2 weeks and you do not feel like you were annoying the ever loving crap out of me, you're not asking me enough questions. And I say that because if you can just be the biggest, fluffiest sponge for your first 2 weeks and soak up every bit of knowledge, every critique, every help that you can get from your leader, your upline, the team page, that's what creates duplication, so that when you then bring somebody in, you can help them. But there's so many resources. And if you just have that deciding moment in your head that you're going to run after this, and you use the tools you have and you use your upline, we're here for a reason, right? This is what we're here for. This is what we take pride in. Like Brittany said, this is our responsibility, right? Is to help you and to start you off right. So that is so, so important. And I absolutely love that. And congratulations on hitting.
Thank you.
Of course. That was amazing. Okay. Is Lexi on here? Hold on.
I am.
Hello. Okay, so Lexi is actually still in her VIP period, which I think is incredible, and she's already on a training, so props to you. And she is creating massive interest. And she's already signed her first couple people, but I kind of want you to just talk about what you've been doing to get people talking, to having those conversations for people to say, hey, what are you taking or what are you using? Because that's what leads to enrollments, is them watching you consistently, them asking questions. So what do you think has helped you just to spark the most interest? And also feel free to tell us just a little bit about yourself and your story.
Okay. Hello. Can everybody hear me? Okay. So this is my first time doing any kind of sales whatsoever. So when Shay came to me through somebody else, I was freaked out, but I said, you know what? I'm in debt. I am in debt and I need to fix this. I want to break out of my shell, and that's what I'm doing here today. But I think the number one thing that has really brought in people is I got personal on my second day. So I went and took a picture on my story and I said, you see this spot on the couch with the butt indent in it? Well, that's where I spent most of my year last year. And there was no reason for it. I just had no energy, no motivation. And I would literally just sit there and wait there until my husband got home. I went from the bed to the couch, and that's what was my routine. And I finally just said, you know what, no more. So then I went and I did a little screenshot of you know what, you see me right now? I haven't sat in that couch all day. And you see that TV? I haven't turned it on in 2 days. And then I went over to the desk where all my work stuff is. This is where I've been sitting my butt down and really studying and learning and using my brain again. And I told them I was so proud of myself because you know what? I did 3 simple steps. And that's all I told them. Just kind of keep the mystery still going. And I was really, really scared because all of my family and friends were watching that. I didn't want them to know that all last year I was doing nothing when I was trying to keep that very, very hidden. But I was surprised to see when everybody was texting me, everybody was saying, thank you for sharing that. I'm currently going through the same thing. I have no motivation whatsoever. I'm a mom. I can't even, get my kids some food in the morning. I have no energy. And to hear you say that was amazing and made me cry, and because I'm an emotional person already. And so I was able to bring on 2 people from that story. Right now it's the waiting game because they don't have the money right now. So I haven't hit that VIP 800 or anything, but I know that they're going to do it. I've been with them every day saying, you know what, you got this. Are you excited? I'm excited for you. So that was the number one big thing. So again, I never been in it. I've been trying to do what Nancy said and really watch all the training videos. That's what I'm doing. I'm not watching TV anymore. I am watching I'm watching Shay, I'm watching everybody and their training videos. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on right now. Crazy Lexi, I'm running everywhere right now. So yeah.
I absolutely love that. And that is what is so important. A, you're adorable. You're going to kill this business. I can tell already just by your personality. But that is how simple creating curiosity can be when you fall in love with something. And that's why we always say it comes back to the passion. It comes back to your heart being in this. It comes back to sharing your story, the story that you may think that nobody's going to relate to, that you don't want to tell, that you're embarrassed about, right? That you think nobody does this, nobody feels this way. Somebody does. And that's why I always say, your story is important, and wherever you are in that story, somebody needs you right there. And it's so important to share those specific details with the product because everybody's story is different, right? Whether it's your energy, whether it is, just being motivated to get up and do stuff, whether it is the weight loss, whatever it may be with this product, people know you, right? Better than you think they do. And they can tell when you have those small changes in you, whether it's your confidence, whether it's your energy, whether it's just anything in general, people can tell that. And that alone can spark so much curiosity. So I think that that's huge is yes, soaking up all the training videos, doing all those important things. But when you go out there, you don't have to overcomplicate it. Share what it's doing for you. Share how you feel. And especially that warm market, the people that are watching you and know you, they are going to respond to that. So I love that. Thank you so, so much. Okay. That was incredible. Short and sweet. I love that. But I just wanted to give you guys some different tips and see somebody in their VIP period, out of their VIP period, and somebody that's a 12K. And this is what it comes back to. It comes back to mindset. It comes back to deciding that you are worthy of this, that you are capable of this, and that you're going to get it done. And when you have that and you pair that with the passion, with your story, and with being teachable, being coachable, and being a sponge, you can accomplish damn near anything. So thank you, ladies, so much. Like I said, short and sweet. I love that. I hope that you guys have an incredible night, and I will upload this and put it on the team pages shortly. So good night, everybody.